How can we best do our due diligence on service providers?
The interesting thing about service providers is there's a renewed focus on sort of the operational aspects of funds. As the hedge fund space gets more institutionalized, you're seeing pensions specifically start looking at service providers more closely. You know, it's kind of weird to think of auditing an auditor who is a service provider. And, you know, or what lawyer are you going to get to check out another lawyer? But I think there are ways that you can do it in terms of looking at the reputations of those businesses and maybe speaking with other clients and finding out how they feel about it. You know, I mean, I think operational due diligence is part of a broader diligence question in general that's important for people to focus on, and that's just don't get complacent just because it's a brand name fund. You know, there's like that old joke, you're never going to get fired for hiring IBM. And that's probably true for a certain extent. And especially if you have limited resources, you're going to have to, you know, do what you can. But it's easy, it's very easy to just go with the big names.
Right.
And then you're in the same big name as everybody else.
Right.
So there's an inherent risk in that. And you could maybe have the same relationship with a slightly smaller manager and maybe get more out of it just because you're not another $10 million ticket. You know, I mean, I think, you know, the thing about hedge funds, and this is part of what I try to talk about in the book, is that there is a basic set of blocks. There's like a basic set of things that every hedge fund is going to have. They're going to have an auditor, they're going to have a fund administrator, they're going to have their own lawyers, they're going to have a guy who does all the technology, and then they're going to have the traders, the brain. And every one of those guys is going to come into a pitch meeting and say, I've stacked these blocks entirely differently than any other person before me, whether that's true or not, you know. And then he's going to say, "Give me $10 million because I'm a genius," which, okay, you know, I mean, you may well believe him, and that's totally awesome. But you should have a basic frame of reference about what the blocks look like before he got there, and also who those people are. I think it would be a very unfortunate thing if you felt really good about a manager and then you come to find out that he's got like his brother-in-law's accounting firm is doing the audits because he's been with them since day one and they just haven't like totally scaled up yet. I mean, and that might be fine, but you probably just, for compliance purposes, maybe want to see a KPMG there or, you know, somebody else just to have a check. Just to make sure what's going on.